When I was 15 or 16, I read The Hunger Games for the first time. This was prior to the first film even being casted. And I absolutely love the series, but I was very focused on the romance. Because I had just finished off with Twilight, I've read Twilight when I was a freshman in high school, and it was very much Team Edward, Team Jacob. So when I read the next big series, I kind of had that similar mindset. I don't think I got to enjoy the full potential of the series because I was so focused on the love triangle and who was Katniss better suited with, when really at the end of the day, this book deals with such heavy themes like poverty and oppression, corrupt governments, and it just wasn't the main focus, or it shouldn't have been in my mind while I was reading it. I found myself skipping through a lot of pages, especially in like Mockingjay, trying to see like where the romance was, who's Katniss gonna pick, and I didn't enjoy the novels as much as I should have. So now I'm 26 years old, I'm rereading the series, I just finished Hunger Games, and I'm gonna share my thoughts. If you don't know anything about the Hunger Games, there's gonna be minor spoilers here, but basically it is a dystopian world where there's 12 different districts in the capital, and once a year every district has to give up 2 children from 12 to 18. They are considered tributes, and they will battle it out in this televised program, and the one that wins, you know, is champion. So basically it's a corrupt game where the government has this tournament just to show the people that they're the ones in power. So our protagonist is Katniss, who enters the Hunger Games or volunteers to the Hunger Games because her sister is chosen to go, and she loves her little sister, so she's trying to protect her. She volunteers to go to this awful game and finds herself starting a revolution basically by the end of it. It's a lot of fun rereading this book because I really like the food scenes. Like the way she describes food is really like interesting, especially because you're reading it from the point of view of characters who haven't had much. They've lived in poverty all their lives, so they hunt for their food versus just being given food. So Katniss's relationship with food in this novel is really interesting because a lot of times she sees the amount of ease that everyone in the capital has when it comes to getting these ready-made meals, and she's used to like going out and hunting for the food that she puts on her table. Like I said before, I've always been more into Gale. I feel like Gale is just her best friend. He's her ride or die. Like, he's known her the longest. So when I was reading this as a 16-year-old, I just didn't get the hype around Peeta, who's like the sweet boy. He's like a baker's son. He genuinely cares about Katniss, and I think that's great. But I never felt that connection with his character, and I still don't. But I can definitely see why people love Peeta so much, because you're going through this hardship together, and that creates a bond in itself that is going to be super strong, almost as strong as her relationship or her bond with Gale, who she's known since she was a little kid, because they both lost their fathers in a mining accident. So then they have that bond there. Now reading it at 26, I could definitely see why people love Peeta so much. I still love Gale more, but it's definitely not about the romance. I also like the movies as well. I forgot to mention, but I never watched anything past the first one. I think I watched Hunger Games in theaters, and I've never seen Catching Fire or Mockingjay. I've seen little clips here and there, and that wasn't even a conscious decision. I think I was just wrapped up in reading the next trilogy. I'm pretty sure I started reading Divergent right after reading Hunger Games, prior to the movie releases again, and then I got wrapped up in that. I hated the way that series ended, so let's not talk about that. Anyway, back to Hunger Games. I loved Katniss' sister. I kind of get a better appreciation of her, Prim. Again, like, I never felt an attachment to any of these characters except for like Gale and Katniss when I was younger. So seeing her love for animals, how caring she is, how she's not grossed out by the human body or by people who are injured. She kind of has her mother's skill in like caring for people. I thought that was really interesting, and how Katniss kind of freezes up a little bit. I used to think when I was reading this that Katniss was very cold-hearted, and I think people joke around with her and kind of insinuate that, but I kind of get her now. I get her personality. She's just a little more, not cynical, but just serious. She's very determined, very focused, and I feel like when Peeta comes along and she's forced to create this romance, kind of like getting closer to Peeta again, because they're in the midst of like a horrible situation, so of course you're bound to get closer to that person. I definitely felt and like understood where she was coming from, and she was kind of hesitant, where she didn't know what was real, what was fake. That has to be hard when you know you're being watched by millions of people and they're watching your every move, but you're also trying to play the cards right in order to get sponsors to give you items and stuff. So I know it's a very strategic tournament. You can't just go into it being like, I'm gonna just kill everyone. You kind of have to see how your actions are being portrayed on camera. So overall, I love the Hunger Games. I'm pretty sure this was my favorite one when I read the trilogy the first time. I am already like 10 pages into Catching Fire. So we'll see how that goes. I'll definitely make another video for that. But so far, I'm enjoying rereading these. I can't wait for the new book to come out to see what the writing style is. Are we gonna sympathize with Snow? You know what I mean? Who knows? But anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.